Good afternoon, traders. Welcome to the More Analytics Afternoon Energy Podcast for February 18th, going into the 19th. This is take two. Okay, natural gas. The failure below 383 warned of pressure. We'd seen 862 ticks coming into today and a little bit more than that, down to 292.20. We're also bearish from February 2nd from the 353.70 open. Then the trade below 339.20 projects us downward 240 ticks minimum, 810 ticks plus maximum. That should be saved right now to 700. But we've come off down to 292.20. I also warned a possible exhaustion area in this area. We held it yesterday with a 296.80 low and rallied up to 317.10, but we've now taken that area out pretty definitively right here. And I've short covered a bit. Decent trade above this formation right here, which is going to come in at 303.30, -3 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. That'll warrant a decent strength. If we break them above there decently and back down through it decently, look for decent pressure to come in. A decent penetration in there overnight is going to be 55 ticks. A maintained gap higher tomorrow will leave a minor bullish reversal below. Crude oil left a maintained gap higher on the day. I said we broke back above where this trend line came in at 63.04, which now warrants decent strength. I also said to get long above 64.39 plus 1.3 per hour, and we have rallied up to 65.43. Decent trade above 65.29 -0.2 of a tick per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll project this upward over $3. If we break above there decently and back down through it decently, look for decent pressure to come in. A decent penetration in there tonight. It's going to be 65 ticks. I would also note that decent failure back below 64.51 plus 1.3 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. That will also warn of decent pressure. In the RBOB, left a maintained gap higher on the day. Okay, the trade below 214.18 only brought in 1.98 cents pressure before breaking back above where it came in at 214.78. I said, which now warrants of decent strength. We've rallied from 214.78 up to 221.34. I also said to get long on a decent penetration above 217.68 to 804, which we took out here and saw a nice run up from that as well. Decent trade above this formation up in here at 221.10 to 15 will also warn of continued strength. If this was to fail back down through this formation, which is going to come in at 215.16 plus 3 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m., that'll warn of decent pressure. Heating oil left to maintain gap higher on the day. This was not bullish in the morning, but I had said that the crude and the RBOB had both turned bullish, and then I said decent trade above 237.57. We'll project this upward 10 cents plus. We have seen trade up to 244.66 so far. Further decent penetration. Actually, the decent penetration above this formation is also bullish. That came in at 241.90 to 91. And a further penetration above this formation tonight, which is going to come in at 243.43 plus 7 per hour starting at 6 o'clock p.m. That'll warn of continued strength. If we were to break above that decently and back down through it decently, look for decent pressure to come in. A decent penetration in there overnight is going to be 245 ticks. Okay, and the Brent left the maintain gap higher on the day and also left a minor bullish reversal below. Trade back above 67.84. I said now warrants a decent strength. We've seen a run up to 70.58. I further suggested getting long above this line right here. Came in at 69.30. We break above 70.72 and back below. I would watch out for, 70.58 to 72. If we break above there, if we break above there and back below, look for possible pressure to come back in. We fell back down below this formation, look for decent pressure to come in. That's going to come in at 69.44 plus 1.5 per hour starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Decent penetration in there overnight is going to be 68 ticks. Maintain gap lower tomorrow. We'll leave a minor bearish reversal above. Okay, in the gas oil, trade back above 666.75. Now warrants a strength. We've seen a run up to 716.50. I additionally said to get long above 690.94 and 707.45 plus 17 per hour. So long above here, long above here, long above here. If we were to fall back down through this lower formation, which will come in at 692 plus 11 per hour, starting at 8 o'clock p.m., that'll warrant decent pressure. Decent penetration in there overnight is going to be 7.75. And your cadence going into tomorrow is the heating oil is the strongest of the three, crude oil in the middle, and the RBOB the weakest of the three. I did note in the heat crack last night that a decent penetration above this formation right here. We'll project this upward 150 ticks plus. Which we saw. We've traveled up to Pro 8. So that's one of the reasons why the heating oil was leading the charge today and why you should have been long the heat instead of the crude or the RBOB. The heat closing out 1,377 higher, RBOB only up 595 and crude only up 309. Again, an example of why paying attention to these is key, because 1369 in the heat times 0.42 is the equivalent of 574 crude ticks, and crude's only up 304. So being long the heat instead of the crude would have made you $2,740 more on the day simply by understanding these spreads. Okay, thank you for watching. I'll see you on tomorrow's podcast.